Hello everyone, Fred here. In this installment of TPP Dynamite, I'm going to be discussing my thoughts and feelings on the recent news that Jon Bernthal will be returning to the MCU and reprising his iconic role as Frank Castle, the Punisher, in the upcoming Disney Plus series Daredevil Born Again. First things first though, if you haven't already, let me encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I regularly post reviews of films, books, and movies on this channel. I'm also an author of adult and young adult mystery novels. To date, I've released 3 books, The Women in White, The Lethal List, and most recently, Textbook Murder. All of them are on sale now, and there are purchase links in my video description below. With that in mind, and without further ado, I'm going to dig right into my topic for today. So about 2 days ago, Comic Book Resources and a few other outlets announced that Jon Bernthal, the actor who portrayed Frank Castle, aka The Punisher, in the Netflix MCU shows Daredevil and The Punisher from 2016 to 2019, would be reprising the role in the upcoming Daredevil Born Again show that's coming to Disney Plus in 2024. Netflix's Daredevil, which ran for 3 seasons from 2015 to 2018, was one of my favorite superhero shows, and most fans and even critics agree that it's one of the best superhero TV shows, period. The Punisher, which ran for 2 seasons between 2017 and 2019, was less critically acclaimed than Daredevil, but it was still widely beloved. I wasn't the biggest fan of Season 2 of The Punisher, but I loved Season 1. In my opinion, Netflix canceled both Daredevil and The Punisher way too early. The Punisher had technically told a complete story by the time that Season 2 wrapped, but Daredevil only really felt halfway done when it got the axe. Jon Bernthal'S performance in Daredevil, where he first appeared in the MCU Netflix shows, was truly iconic, and in fact the fans' love for it was a big part of why he even got his own show in the first place. I very much enjoyed him myself in that role. But having heard that Jon is going to be reprising the role in Daredevil Born Again for Disney Plus, I've got to say I have some mixed feelings. On the one hand, yeah, I'm glad that Jon is back, just like I was glad when I heard that Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio would be back for the series. But on the other hand, I can't help but have some slight concern here. As far as I know, none of the creatives from either the amazing Daredevil or the slightly less amazing The Punisher are involved with Daredevil Born Again. Charlie Cox himself has intimated that Disney Plus's Daredevil Born Again is likely to curtail the realistic violence and mature storytelling that defined Netflix MCU shows like Daredevil and The Punisher and made them as noteworthy as they were in the first place. And just to say this, anything that's MCU related that comes out on Disney Plus as of right now is suspect to me. The Netflix MCU shows had their problems when they were airing, said and settled, but say what you will about them, there's a reason why fans are still passionate about those shows 4 years after they were canceled. Meanwhile, Disney Plus has yet to produce even one MCU show that has landed as a tried and true hit with either fans or critics. Most of its MCU shows are garbage created and written by crazy woke radicals with more experience as feminazi social media influencers than as TV showrunners or writers. Of course, I will reserve all judgment on Daredevil Born Again until I've actually watched the series for myself, just like I did with She-Hulk or Moon Knight or all those other garbage Disney Plus shows. I am of the reasonable sort and I don't trash shows without giving them a fair chance, but I will say that at this point I am starting to feel the slightest bit of tension because I have seen more than a few red flags just going by what information has been released thus far about Daredevil Born Again. To my knowledge, none of the creatives behind the Netflix Daredevil series are involved, just to say that again. Major fan favorite characters from that original Daredevil series are being either recast or omitted altogether from Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil is getting a truly awful suit rebrand for the new show, and Charlie Cox himself has said more than once that the new series' tone will probably be less mature than that of the Netflix series. But despite my misgivings about all of those things, I have to say that I've got a considerable bit of hope also. Jon Bernthal has said more than once that he is very protective of the Frank Castle character and what that character represents. He said that he will never play the character again unless the story is told with the extreme darkness and maturity that it deserves. Now, Jon gave the interviews where he said those things a couple years ago, so it's always possible that Disney has since then somehow reined him in and either talked or paid him into returning as a version of the Punisher who will toe the Disney Plus line of family friendliness, which that would be truly heartbreaking. But it's also possible that Daredevil Born Again will be one of the very rare times that Disney Plus gets a show right, that the show will be the mature and deep spectacle that the fans deserve, and that's why Jon Bernthal has chosen to return to be a part of this one. And because I'm something of an optimist, I'm willing to believe the latter until I see evidence to the contrary. At any rate, tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, click subscribe, and please ring that bell. So long.